Hello, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine, staying at home, following the guidelines of the government. Now, this is your teacher Sohil Gajjar. We are back again with the economics, chapter number 1, part 3. Before starting the new topic, let us just quickly revise what we have completed till now so that you can easily go through the new topic what we are going to discuss today. Okay. Economy is a system which provides the means to work and earn a living. Three different sectors of the society are there: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Various kinds of goods and services are created with the help of resources, and the firm is paying them amount of some certain amount of money, and from that amount of money they are able to maintain their standard of living. These are all various parts of economy. Vital function of an economy are production, consumption, and capital formation. Why we are studying economics? We are studying economics due to scarcity. Scarcity of what? Scarcity of resources, and scarcity refers to supply falling short of demand. Demand is more and the supply is less. You can see here there are 5 person who want to eat the tomato, okay, but it is only one, supply is one, and the demand is 5. Scarcity, as I told you, scarcity of what? Scarcity of resources, and those resources are known as factors of production, and those factors of production are land, labor, capital, and enterprise. So these resources are required to convert any input into output. Without these four factors of production, we cannot produce any kind of goods and services in the economy, or we cannot convert any input into output without these four factors of production. So these are the main pillars, or the main uh, thing that is required for production of goods and services. Economizing the resources means making optimum use of available resources. The resources which we are having, we should not waste those resources, and we should make the optimum utilization or the best use of those resources. Economic problem is a problem of choice which arises due to scarcity of resources, unlimited human wants, and alternative use of resources. Alternative use of resources means resources can be put to several other uses. We have already discussed these things in detail. This is just a go through. Economics is a social science. Why it is known as social science? Because it studies the human behavior, how human beings satisfy their unlimited human wants with the given limited resources that are having alternative uses. Now, micro and macroeconomics, there are two different branches of economics or components of economics. Micro deals with an individual, macro deals with the aggregate level of the economy. For example, when I'm teaching in a class, that is known as a microeconomics. I'm teaching only 40 students or 50 students. When I'm teaching on YouTube, the whole India can see my videos. Okay, so I am teaching the whole India. That is known as a macroeconomics. Positive economics and normative economics. Positive economics deals with the real situation of the economy, whereas normative economics deals with the ideal situation of the economy. Okay, we have already discussed that. For example, every parent wants that their children should score 90 or 95% in the board exams. So that is known as the ideal situation. That is known as the normative economics. And for example, students are scoring only 70 to 75 or 50. That is known as a positive economics. That is the real situation. Okay. So positive economics deals with the real situation of an economy, whereas normative economics deals with the ideal situation of an economy. We have already discussed this in detail. Now today's topic, that is central problems of an economy. Now central problems of an economy deals with the allocation of resources. We know that the resources are limited and they are also having alternative uses. So we need to allocate those resources in such a manner that all the wants of the economy are fulfilled. So central problems of an economy deals with the allocation of resources. Now why these are known as central problems of an economy? This central problems arises due to scarcity of resources, and they are having resources are having alternative uses. These are the two main reasons why these central problems arise in an economy. Now scarcity is universal. Scarcity of resources is there in each and every economy, whether it be a developed economy like US, developing economy like India, or underdeveloped economy like Bangladesh or Pakistan. So central problems of an economy is present in each and every economy. Central problems are what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. These three central problems of an economy are there in each and every economy, whether it is a developed economy or underdeveloped economy. Because the main reason for these central problems are scarcity and resource having alternative uses. So scarcity of resources is there in each and every economy. Okay, so these central problems are present in each and every economy. So our first problem is what to produce. What to produce deals with the selection of goods and services to be produced in an economy, in what quantity and in what combination. You can see on your screen that there are three different types of goods. Defense goods like tanks, machine guns, which is required to protect our political frontier or a domestic territory of the country. We know our neighbor like Pakistan, okay, to protect our countries from militant attacks. So we need the various kinds of defense equipment to protect our political frontier. That is why defense goods is required. Second one is the capital goods. Capital goods are those goods, they are machine goods, are those goods which are used to make several other uses, other goods. For example, embroidery machine is a capital good. With the help of embroidery machine, only we are able to make the sari and all those stuff. So capital goods is also required. With the help of capital goods, we can easily produce goods and services in an economy. The third one is the consumer goods. The consumer goods are of three types: durable goods, semi-durable goods, non-durable goods, and services. Okay, so which goods should be produced in an economy? Defense, capital, consumer, in what quantity and in what combination. Combination, we should go for defense or capital goods, defense or consumer good, or capital or consumer goods. So what kind of goods and services to be produced in an economy, in what quantity and in what combination, that is known as a what to produce. Second one is how to produce. How to produce deals with the selection of technique of production, whether we should go for LIT or CIT. Now, LIT means labor intensive technology, CIT means capital intensive technology. There are two pictures on your screen. The first one is CIT, there is more of machines are used and less of labors are used. Second picture is LIT, that is labor intensive technology, more of labors are used and less of machines are used. So, what kind of technology we should use for the production of goods and services, whether you should go for CIT or LIT. CIT means capital intensive technology, more of machine and less of labor. LIT means labor intensive technology, more of labor and less of machine. Developing economy like India, where there are more amount of labor, okay, so preferable technology for India will be LIT, that is labor intensive technology. It will generate more employment opportunities also, but India is having a large amount of population, so the demand to fulfill the demand of the consumer and to make the goods speedily and to use modernization, CIT is also preferred. So there is always a contradictory issue for India that whether we should go for CIT or for LIT. Now both the technologies are required in India. CIT is required for the growth of an economy. LIT is required for fulfilling the objective of equity. If you use the LIT, more of employment generation will be there, more of income will be there. So the gap between rich and poor can be reduced with the help of LIT. If India uses LIT, and if you go for CIT, we can speedily achieve the growth. We can speedily fulfill the demand of the consumer. So there is always a contradictory issue whether we should go for CIT or LIT. But in a larger prospect, in a general prospect, LIT is preferable for India, whereas Japan, their labors are they are having very less labors. They are very advanced in technology, so for them, CIT is more preferable. Okay, so how to produce this with the selection of technique of production, what kind of technology we should use for the production of goods and services, whether we should go for LIT or CIT. LIT stands for labor intensive technology, more of labors will be used and less of machines will be used. CIT means capital intensive technology, more of machines will be used and less of labors will be used. For India, LIT is more preferable, and for Japan, CIT is more preferable. Third one is for whom to produce. For whom to produce means selection of category of people who will ultimately consume the goods. Whether we should produce goods for the classes or masses. Classes means more rich, less poor. Masses means more poor, less rich. For example, cars like Porsche, Ferrari, Bugatti, uh, Audi, there are more that are made for classes. That's for rich people and less for poor people. Whereas cars like Nano are made for more for poor people. That's poor people can easily afford that, and rich is not going to afford those cars. So, uh, for whom we should produce the goods, whether for the classes or masses. The ultimate objective is those who have the paying capacity. Okay, those who have the amount of money to purchase those goods according to their purchasing power, according to their income, they can easily produce the goods and services. So, for whom to produce deals with a selection of category of people who will ultimately consume the goods. Whether we should make goods for the classes or the masses. Classes means more rich, less poor. Masses means more poor, less rich. It depends on the paying capacity of the consumer. Okay, clear? So let us just quickly revise. So central problems of an economy deals with the allocation of resources. We all know that the resources are limited and they are having alternative uses. So we need to allocate those resources in such a manner that maximum wants of the economy are fulfilled. The central problems are what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. What to produce deals with the selection of goods and services to be produced in an economy, whether we should produce defense goods, capital goods, or consumer goods. How to produce deals with the selection of technique of production, whether we should go for LIT or CIT. LIT means labor intensive technology, more of labor will be used and less of machines will be used. CIT means capital intensive technology, more of machines will be used and less of labors will be used. For whom to produce, there is selection of category of people who will ultimately consume the goods, whether we should produce goods for the classes or masses. Classes means more rich and less poor. Masses means more poor, less rich. Those who have the paying capacity. Next is opportunity cost. Now, opportunity cost is one of the important concepts of economy. Opportunity cost is the cost of next best alternative foregone. For example, after completing your 10th standard, you are having two options, whether you should take commerce or science. So those who are watching this video, they have opted for commerce, and what they have left, science. So the opportunity cost of studying commerce is science. That was the next best alternative foregone. Opportunity cost is also known as the sacrificing cost. To gain one, we need to sacrifice the other. Okay, we cannot study both commerce and science stream together. Okay, so after completing your 10th standard, you are having two options, whether you should forgo commerce or whether you should take science. So those who are all watching this video, quite obvious they have taken the commerce stream. Okay, and what they have left out, they have left out the science stream. So they have forgone the science stream. So the opportunity cost of studying commerce is science, which is the next best alternative foregone. Okay, I've taken two examples over here. Okay, John is studying all night for his exam. Okay, whole night he is studying. So most of the people at night are sleeping. So what is the opportunity cost of studying whole night for the exam? Is a good night's sleep. So he sacrificed the sleep to study whole night for the exam. Okay. So the opportunity cost for John for studying all night for the exam is a good night sleep that he has spoken. Okay. In the same manner, so opportunity cost of studying commerce is science, which is the next best alternative for both. Second example, okay, if you are attending a college, you could be earning a 20,000 per year. Okay, the potential benefit it is given up for selecting a career over one another is the amount of salary which you could easily get. Okay, you are having two options whether you should go for a degree or whether you should go for a job. Okay, you are opting for a degree, so the opportunity cost is the salary or the amount of money which you will be receiving by doing the job. Okay, so the opportunity cost of getting a degree is the salary that we had foregone. Clear? So opportunity cost means the next best alternative foregone. Okay, for example, you are having 20,000 rupees in your hand. You are having two options whether you should purchase laptop or mobile. So example, you have purchased the mobile. So the opportunity cost of purchasing a mobile is laptop. Okay, that you have foregone, that you have sacrificed here. So the opportunity cost means the cost of next best alternative foregone. Okay, so admissions are still open. You can inform your friends. You can contact on the number given below, or can also visit our website. If you are having any doubts or any queries related to the topic, you can mail me or you can contact on my mobile number. Thank you very much, students. Take care. Be at home. Stay safe.